Well, I'm joined now by Ottawa lawyer Howard Yegendorf, who specializes in catastrophic injury cases. Today we're discussing the final report of the OC Transpo train crash that was released last week. Now, Howard, first of all, what does the Transportation Safety Board report say about the liability of the City of Ottawa?
Well, I think it says, Michael, what I've believed right from the start, and that the city's liability is clear-cut. The report says, the Transportation Safety Board's report says that there was really nothing wrong with the train, the crossing was functioning properly, there was nothing wrong with the bus, and there was no medical event, sudden medical event that the driver experienced or suffered. So to me, there's an irresistible inference that the city is liable, that there was driver distraction or driver error, and that the city is liable for that. They're vicariously liable for the actions of their employees.
Now, the report also says that in terms of the driver, it could have happened to anyone. Now, how does that speak to liability for the City of Ottawa?
Well, let's say from the get-go that this is as much a tragedy for the Woodard family as it is for anybody. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to assess the merits of the lawsuits, you have to look at the actions of the driver. And sure, this could have happened to any driver. That's somewhat of a trite statement, in my opinion. I mean, you or I or anybody could go through a red light or a stop sign if we are distracted. Right. Of course, it could happen to anybody. The reality is, it happened to this driver because he was distracted, and the report made it clear that he was distracted. So where does that leave the city? That leaves the city responsible for the negligence of its driver.
So in terms of liability, how does Via Rail factor into this?
I don't think they do. I know that the city has third-partied Via as being somewhat responsible for this accident. I don't see how Via is liable in any way. I think that third-party action against Via is going to prolong, perhaps complicate the lawsuit, but I don't think Via is in any way liable. And in fact, Via has sued OC Transpo for the damage to their train that the bus caused. And I think Via's lawsuit against OC Transpo in that regard will be successful.
So moving forward now, and this is really probably the most important question of all of this, how does this affect the people who have claims against the city?
Well, what has happened to all these claims, there's about 30 of them, they've been case managed by they're now being case managed by Mr. Justice McNamara, excellent judge, and so he'll obviously do his best to streamline this litigation and get it moving forward. But what I think the Transportation Safety Board decision says, it's made it clear there's no issue as to liability. The city is responsible for this crash, and so the lawsuits are just really exercises now in assessing the damages of the various plaintiffs.
Very interesting case. Howard Yegendorf, always good to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Michael.